Welcome back to Good Living Alaska. We hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year to you.
Yes, happy new year.
We are on our way out and we will tell you where in just a few moments.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life.
All right, Bubba, are you ready to go inside and get some McDonald's, for a snack? Yeah, let's do it. We're making an exception today because we're doing a special drive. Are you enjoying your food, Bubba? Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, we're gonna sit here for a few minutes and eat, and then we're gonna keep going on our drive.
The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin.
Let me check and see how deep in the snow. I was worried we were gonna get stuck out here. Luckily, it's mostly been ice this year, so. Oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. All right, come on, Mocha. Come on, girl. Go play. You go play. I know you want to. I know you want to play. I know you want to play. Yeah, I know you want to play. You like to play. Yeah.
All right, so we arrived at our abandoned cabin. Now, we know we haven't been here in a while, so we thought we'd come and check it out, show you guys, answer some questions. We are going to be going over several topics with different questions that you guys have sent us, but we want you to hang around because at the end, there is some big news. So don't miss it, or you're gonna miss a lot that's coming up in the new year. We're gonna start off with how hard it was to get into the driveway and the winter weather that we experience here.
All right, so for starters, the weather, right? So this winter has been very strange. We've had like very cold spells, very warm spells, and now we're back to very cold spells again. The roads are really bad when you're getting off of the blacktop. The roads are really bad because they're just got solid ice. Our driveway has solid ice, and the driveway here at our abandoned cabin is also a lot of ice. Now we still have a lot of snow on it, but when I'm pulling into this cabin, our tires are actually slipping. Now this vehicle weighs 7,000 pounds. You would think that we would have enough grip because we also have high traction studded tires on our van here in order to not get stuck when we're out and about doing the things that we like to do, like camping and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why we got this, was to have that security. But we were even slipping on this road because just how icy it is.
So that leads us to our first question that you guys sent us. Is winter pretty much the same every year, or is it different from year to year?
So it's different. For some reason, yeah. For some reason this year has been just really weird, like hot, cold, hot, cold. Last year, it snowed a bunch. It got warm a little bit, but not enough to melt it. This year, it snowed a bunch and it melted almost all of it. Now, the way it melts around here is the permafrost kind of sticks in the ground. It stayed in the ground, so everything became ice on top of it, which left us with a very icy driveway and a very icy roof. But this is the first year, and I talked to a couple people around here, that we have seen the ice actually melt completely off the roofs. So our roof was completely melted, and you can see that the roof got completely cleaned off. Now, our roof is a cold roof, meaning that the insulation is actually on top of the walls, or I should say the ceiling of our house, and there's a cold space from there to the roof. You know, a lot of times that ice will stick around until pretty early summer, late springish. So we were really surprised to see all that happen.
Yeah, last year we had a lot of negative temperatures. This year, not so many. A lot of the lakes to go ice fishing are not frozen enough to fish on. There's not a lot of snow to go snow machining on. So a lot different. And honestly, we'd rather have snow on the ground than it be warmer, just because it's easier to drive. It's easier to walk. There's a lot more activities to do outside. So when it's warm like this, yeah, it feels pretty good, but it makes it harder with all the ice. So not fun trying to walk on your driveway, walk out in the grocery parking lot, stuff like that. You definitely have to be careful when there's not a lot of snow on the ground. It's definitely like the snow better than the ice.
And one of the big things about the ice fishing for us is I just want to make sure that the kids are safe when I get out there. I don't want to be causing or risking their lives just to go ice fishing. Probably safe, but I want to make sure before I go out there. that's one of the reasons why we have yet to go ice fishing this year.
So next question, is it hard having less daylight in the winter? How does that work with kids? Yes, it is a lot harder, especially with kids and, you know, working, like with Blake's work schedule too. It's a lot harder because the kids get confused about when's bedtime, when it's time to wake up. So right now it doesn't get light out in the morning till about 10:30, and it starts getting dark here around 3:30. The sun really starts setting at 3:30, and it makes us tired too. I don't know about you guys, but when it starts getting dark, I'm ready for bed, or getting ready for bed, or wanting to go to bed. It definitely is harder in the winter. But the main thing to remember, and it can be hard at times, the main thing to remember is to get out and be active. And it's just also hard with like Blake's work schedule because he'll leave in the dark, come home in the dark almost. So not a lot of time to do things outside with the kids, but I do try to take advantage of it while he's at work during the day, getting them outside and going places and taking advantage of as much daylight as we can. But you definitely want to stay busy. Even when it's dark out, get out there and do stuff, because if not, it makes for a very long day and a very long, depressing winter. All right, so our last questions about the weather before we move on into our cabin questions is, can you see the northern lights, and what are the average winter temperatures? Is it as cold as people really think it is?
So when it comes to the northern lights, yes, we can see them from our house, and they really show up mostly early winter and late winter, but during the mid-season we really can't see them because a lot of times we have a lot of cloud coverage. And now the cloud coverage actually brings in warmer weather, which is nice because it's nice not to be freezing completely when you get out, but it also covers up the beautiful sky. And one of my hobbies is actually to catch the northern lights, and I love doing that. But I can't do that most of the winter because it's so snowy around here. So as for the temperatures in Alaska, well, we live on the Kenai Peninsula, and in a lot of ways it's kind of like the Palm Beach of Alaska. So our temperatures really aren't that bad. At most we get down to -20 for about a week during the winter, and that week is usually after January. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be a lot colder, but at the same time that's not that bad. In Fairbanks, for example, they're hitting -70 during the winter and 100 degrees during the summer. Here we only hit around the 80s, so we have a very mild summer and a very mild winter, which is nice, but a lot of the reasons is because we have a lot of water around us. So this is a really nice area when it comes to temperatures.
Yeah, and you know, people are like, oh, Alaska, it's so cold. Why would you live in Alaska? Well, like he said, we're on the Kenai Peninsula. It's not that bad. We lived in Wisconsin for 4 years, and honestly the temperatures are comparable. Sometimes Wisconsin even would get colder than it does here in Alaska. So yeah, we get that a lot, especially from family and friends. Ooh, so cold, why would you live there? But honestly, if you can live in the northern lower 48 states, you can definitely do Alaska, or at least southern Alaska, because it's pretty comparable to those states. And we used to watch the show Life Below Zero, and that show used to scare us. We're like, oh my gosh, is this really what Alaska is like with temperatures and everything else that show showed us? And honestly, it's not. So don't be afraid when you watch those shows like on National Geographic, I think, or a Discovery Channel, because they are showing you the worst scenarios, making it more dramatic.
Makes it entertaining.
Yeah, it makes it really entertaining. But when we got here and experienced it, it was like, oh, we got this. It's nothing. It was really not what the shows were portraying.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and go take a look at the status of our cabin and go look at the Airstream over here. It looks like there was a tree that kind of fell down on it, so we're going to go assess the damage.
And as we're looking at our cabin and Airstream, we are going to answer some questions that you guys have been asking and fill you in on our plans for this cabin.
Who's a good mocha? Who's a good mocha, huh? All right. Whoa, look at that girl. My goodness, look at this place. All right. Let's just be careful when we walk in. These stairs are old and rickety. Here, I'm going to lift you up, okay? You ready? Whoa. There you go. There you, yeah, that one's broken. There we go. There you go. Woo. Well, sadly, nobody fixed it for us.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've been here because we were doing so much over the summer. Earlier this year we had Blakely, so new baby, and then over the summer we were fishing and camping, enjoying the weather. So yeah, we haven't been out here in a while. We just came to kind of see how it's doing, make sure the snow didn't get in it. Nothing's been broken into by animals.
Yeah, it's in the same condition it was before.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny to use to see.
No improvements, but it looks like no further damage. So that's good. All right, so a lot of people have been asking, since we haven't been showing it and haven't been working on it, do you still own your abandoned cabin?
And as you can see, we're here. We own this thing. So this is still ours. It took a little over 1.5 years to pay for it, but we purchased it outright now, and we own this property 100%. So this will be a future project of ours. But right now, we are saving up money.
Yeah, it takes a lot. It's expensive to build in Alaska, so we are saving up to work on it. Our plans are to build cabins out here.
But that is definitely a future plan that we're even thinking of maybe trying to get started sooner than later.
So yeah, our plan is to eventually tear it down. We cannot salvage this place. We have tried to think of every way possible. We may be able to salvage some of the wood, but our plan is to tear it down and to build cabins out here and maybe have some rental income in the future. So that is a big project that's going to take a lot of time and money to make it happen. But make sure you stay till the end, like we mentioned earlier, because we are going to be telling you what we're going to be working on this coming year, and it is big.
You just want to be with your daddy, huh? Look at you, little bouncy baby. Little bouncing baby over here. All right, let's look and see what we got over here. Oh, yeah. Well, that did it right there. It's frozen to it, but it put a huge dent in it.
Well,
that's not good.
Yeah, because our plans too, in addition to the cabin in the future, is to go ahead and refurbish and bring this back to life. We've had a lot of people offer money for it, believe it or not. A lot of people want to buy it from us, but we decided we're going to keep it and we're going to remodel it on the inside and outside. Now that this has happened,
I don't know.
So that might be a game changer. We're going to go inside and look to see the damage. But yeah, we were planning on refurbishing it because, like I said, we've had a lot of offers, but we're not selling it.
All right. Let's go look back here. It's kind of dark in here, but... All right, well, as you can see here, it didn't do anything on the inside, so I think we're good. I think we're okay. Does need a lot of fixes, a lot of repairs in here.
I mean, it doesn't look like much, but our dream is to restore it back to its vintage style. We would love to have the old vintage appliances and vintage furniture. We think it would be amazing. But that's going to be further down the road. But that is a big dream goal for us in the next few years because we have a lot coming up.
What'd you find? Frozen moose poo-poo?
Look what Harrison found.
Oh, did you do that?
Did you do that? Or did a moose do it? A moose did it?
Mocha did it.
Mocha did
Mocha's claiming it. She's stepping all over it. Well, it looks like that damage won't be so bad. We should be able to pop that dent out from the inside and salvage this thing. Either way, that's going to take a lot of work, and that's way down the future. Just because we have all these dreams doesn't mean we have the time currently to do them all. Mainly when you see what we're doing coming up here in 2025.
So we hope we answered a lot of the cabin questions. We still own this. We're keeping it. We have plans for it, but it's going to come later because we are going to be very busy in 2025. Are you an Alaskan babe? Are you an Alaskan baby? Yeah.
Motor, are you cold? Come on, let's go get in a warm van, huh? You want to go in a warm van? I know you like the cold, but everybody else worries about you. Everybody's so worried about Mocha. Why are you leaving Mocha outside, huh? We forgot to tell him that you got a giant winter coat on, huh? Yeah, we forgot to tell him that, huh? Because you're nice and warm, actually. Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl, huh? So as far as this cabin, we are basically going to be putting this on the back burner again. I know we put it on the back burner this past year, but that's because we have certain dreams and it requires a lot of money to save up for these dreams. I think anybody here will know that it does take a lot of money to save up for your dreams. and for you to get going on these things. So it's going to go back on the back burner, but our future is going to be pretty awesome in my opinion.
Yes, because we are going to be making one of our dreams come true this coming year. So that's where the focus and finances are going to be going. We will always have this cabin in mind and always will be saving money to build, but we are making a dream and a goal come true this year. That's going to require a lot of our time and money.
All right, so before we get more into our future, we want to talk to you about our family, because we had some family questions here. Speaking of little girl right here, trying to learn to drive with daddy up here. So what is our family question, Mama?
All right, so our first family question is, what do Blake and Jillian do for a living? Believe it or not, Blake and I both work in the medical field. I'm not working right now due to raising a family, having kids, but I am actually a registered nurse. And I honestly didn't think that I could do nursing and raise small children at the same time, just with the hours and not always getting off on time and just the long days. So my focus is my children right now, having children, raising our children, and that's a job in itself. I know some people don't always agree with that, but being a stay-at-home mom is a job. So it requires a lot, and I really enjoy it. It's the best job that I think I could have, but it is a lot of work, regardless of what people think.
And so I know we've answered this in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and answer it again since we had more questions about it. I actually came up here on contract. That's how we actually ended up in Alaska. The pay was good enough for us to be able to fly up here and start working right away. And so when I came up here on contract, I went and worked for one of the local hospitals, and it's been good to me. So since we decided to stick around, we decided to buy a home because Jillian actually got pregnant, and so we were trying to nest, and that was a big thing for us. We wanted to find a place where she would feel comfortable raising the babies, and so we found that house there located in SOLDOTNA. And as far as the job I do, I am a radiology technologist that works in cardiovascular care. We fix the vessels in the hearts and in the legs, and we take care of basically all around heart stuff. Now, because Alaska is so rural, we end up doing a lot more of different things than just that. So we kind of stay busy doing a multitude of different things. And so what is the next question, babe?
All right, next question. What type of dog do you have? Why do you call her two different names? All right, so Mocha is a medium-sized poodle. We got her from a rescue. The original owner had her for breeding purposes. Found out she wasn't going to get as big as they thought. They wanted a standard poodle to breed. And so they ended up surrendering her, and we ended up getting her from a rescue, and her name was already Mocha, and we didn't want to change it because she responded really well. So she is a big part of our family. We love her and try to take her everywhere we can. But Harrison actually started calling her Motor. He couldn't say Mocha. So she has two names, Mocha and Motor. So if you hear us calling her those two different names, that's why. But what's really funny about it is he was calling her Motor before he started watching Paw Patrol. There is a dog on there called Motor, and it's a gray dog. So we thought it was funny that he was calling her Motor before he started watching Paw Patrol. And now he thinks it's so funny because there's a dog on his favorite show called Motor. We're not going to change it. We think it's the cutest thing when he says it. So, yeah. All right. So we have a few questions that we've been getting about our littles, our kids. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those real quick. The first one is, when is Harrison and Blakely's birthday? So Harrison's birthday is actually December 3rd. He is a December baby. And Blakely is February 12th. So they were actually both born 36 weeks. So they're a month early, but those are their birthdays. And Harrison just turned 3, and Blakely is going to be 1. Oh my goodness, in February. And then relating to that, some of you have asked, when is your new baby due? The baby is due around June 7th. However, I've been gearing toward the middle of May, and the doctor thinks so too, considering I have a history of having both kids at 36 weeks. There is a really good possibility we are going to have a May baby. And then a couple of you have asked about a baby registry, and we do have a baby registry. It's in the link in the description. You guys can check it out if you want, but please don't feel obligated. We appreciate your support and love and comments and just all the good vibes that you give us. So if you would like to check it out, please do, but please don't feel like you have to. We appreciate every and all kinds of support. All right, and then the last question regarding our kids and our family is, what is the gender of your baby? So we are are not finding out. We did not find out the gender with Blakely or Harrison, so we are not finding out again. It is so hard not knowing, but I will tell you, it is one of the best surprises that you can imagine. Just hearing your husband say it's a blank. I can't tell you what an amazing surprise and feeling it is. Even though it's hard, we've done it twice, so now it's easier because we have clothes for both genders. So it's not as stressful, you know, getting prepared, especially your third one. You have most of the stuff. There's still stuff that we need. But yeah, one of the best surprises. So it's going to be a surprise and you'll know when we know. All right, so our final topic is future plans and goals. Drum roll, please.
All right, so one of our dreams has been to go off grid. You know, it's just a dream that some people have. It's a certain way of living, and I like it because it prepares you. It prepares you for the worst, but you can still enjoy the best. And what do I mean by that? Well, as solar power has advanced, the ability to have a solar powered house has become easier and easier. The batteries last way longer. There's certain batteries that we've been looking at that have over 7,000 cycles, which is a few years of life to them, and their expense has gone way down. Beforehand, you'd easily spend $50,000 to add solar power, but now you're down to $15,000 just to get it going from start, and that's a really good deal. So we are going to get off the grid, and that is our future plan. All right, so we don't own this property yet, but we are actually working on it, and we are trying to get this off-grid modern barn dominium. Now, this property has about 9 acres on it, and the inside of the house is absolutely gorgeous. And even though this house only has 1 bedroom currently, it does have 2 bathrooms, and it does have a 3-bedroom septic on it. So we are looking to purchase this because we are going to build more rooms in the large garage that it has, which by itself is 1,500 square feet. Now, this house was recently built earlier this year. So we're going to go ahead and show you the garage because that is 1,500 square feet. And we're just going to take some measurements real quick and kind of see where we can fit bedrooms.
So we are planning on finishing up purchasing and closing on the house in a couple months. In the meantime, we have to sell our house in order to buy this house. So we have a lot to get ready, pack and move and enlist and sell our house. So we are going to have a lot of videos coming up about these different things that we will be doing. We are going to be very busy. It takes a lot to move, even more so with small children. It's going to be really interesting. Blake and I have moved before, but not this big of a move with small children and no family really to help. We're hoping my mother-in-law comes up to help, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So these are definitely some big dreams that we have, and it's gonna take a lot of work out of us, but we really are excited to be able to accomplish these desires that we have to go off grid and also to have a more modern off-grid house.
We hope this works out. Anytime, you know, you buy a house, there's a lot of potential for things to go wrong and fall through. So we are hoping this works out. Houses like this don't always come up in our area. Now, there's a lot of off-grid in Alaska, but in our area, it's not as common to be off-grid. If we do get this house, it would be about 30 minutes from where we currently live. So with Blake still being at the hospital and possibly eventually being on call and having small children, it's going to be perfect distance. We can't go any further out, and honestly, we don't want to go any further out because of having small children and then needing the job. So it's perfect distance for us, and it doesn't happen very often. There have been a lot of offers, so we hope that we are going to get it. It looks like we started everything and we are in the process of purchasing it, so everything should be fine. But if for some reason it doesn't, then we will still be looking for an off-grid home because that is our goal. All right, so last question that we have been getting is any advice for moving to Alaska, and Blake's going to touch on that.
All right, so any advice for moving to Alaska? And the advice that I would say is be prepared, right? So Alaska is a lot more expensive. You need to be prepared for the winters. And depending on the location that you're moving, say if you live down in this location, it's really good to make sure that you have a way to keep warm. Now, it's not as important as up north, but keeping warm is always important. You want to make sure that you're getting a place where everything is working as far as like the way you heat your house, the way you get your water. Because some of these houses that you can buy, especially if you're buying them off grid, just about everything cannot be working. So when you buy it, make sure that it's functioning properly before you get it, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're freezing at night, especially if you're moving up during winter. So that would be my biggest advice, is just be prepared for the cost and be prepared for getting around during the winter, which could mean new tires, 4-wheel drive, and a house where your furnace is functional, whatever heating system you have in there. One of my favorite things is in-floor heating. It heats up the concrete and that radiates up into the house, and that is a very nice setup. So that's one of the biggest bonuses about our off-grid barn dominium that we are looking at, because it has in-floor heating just like our current house does. And so that's really exciting because it's also very energy efficient. If you look at the boiler that is used, it tells you that it's 95% efficient when using the natural gas. So that's pretty nice. And so one of the things that we have in this off-grid cabin is the access for a stove. If not, we would be putting one in, but it has a chute for a stove. So we are going to be getting a wood stove, and that is also going to allow us to heat that off-grid cabin with ease. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about, because I've always wanted to have a wood stove. I kind of wish we had one in our current house, because honestly, I think that would be awesome to save on money, but I think that's a need when you're going off-grid.
All right, and my advice would be, don't be intimidated by Alaska. I was really intimidated when we first moved here because of what I've heard and just stuff that I saw on TV. And I just want to let you guys know it is doable. We've actually had some really nice comments where people have said that we have inspired them, which is a huge compliment, because if you would have asked us, you know, a year or 2 years ago, we would have been like, we can't move and live in Alaska. Are you serious? Especially with small children. But just want to tell you guys that anything is possible. You can do it. We can do it with small children. It's just going to take time and effort, but if this is something that you've been considering, you know, don't hesitate, because it is doable, and don't let people tell you that it's not.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Look at that. Bubbly juice, yeah. Sparkling apple cranberry. Whoa. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Does that look good, Bubba?
What's that?
It's juice. Oh, a bubbly juice. Yummy, huh? All right, here's Harrison's.
No.
Yummy, that looks good, huh? Oh, here's some mummies. There we go. There's mummies.
Woo! All right, well, goodbye 2024.
And cheers to 2025 and our new adventures.
Woo! Lots of new adventures.
Woo! You gonna drink some? Take a sip. Take a sip. That's pretty good. Ooh. Is it too bubbly?
Yeah.
You don't like the bubbles? Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we have a lot of new stuff coming up this year. We hope you stick around to watch it. But thanks again for watching Good Living Alaska. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year!
Today and not tomorrow. There's
Let's go this way, Bubba.
time to borrow today. Well, something's gotta give today. It's a good day today and not tomorrow. There's no time to borrow today.
Did you have fun in there, Harrison? Yeah.
Did you see your baby brother or sister?
Yeah, we don't know what yet, but yeah, we'll find
Did you
out.
like seeing the baby?
Yeah, I did.
I did too.
It's a good